What's up? In this video, I'm going to go over a few things I believe us Americans can learn from foreigners. Not just Americans, Western nations and people living in Western societies can learn from a lot more of the developing and more third world countries, as some people might call it, nations, and how they live their lives in terms of getting in control of their finances and gaining wealth. Now, before I begin, my name is McKinney Thomas. I'm coach of 3FTV, now known as The Hive, and it's still 3FTV. We're just falling under one of my branch businesses, The Hive, which is really about mental health, spiritual health, physical health, financial health, the whole shebang. I don't really say shebang, I don't know why I said it just then, but you get the point. And the reason why I want to go over this, and I wanted to convert it because it is bigger than just that 3F. I really want to make this a hive, a collective, when we think about bees and how they work together. In this instance, I might be the queen or king bee. You're coming to me for advice, you're coming to me for community, but the queen bee is not the ruler of the beehive. The bees themselves can kick the queen bee out at any time and kill them and elect a new queen anytime they feel like they want to. So that's what this is all about. Now let's just get straight into it. What do I think we can learn from more third world countries? You might be wondering, how is this going to play out when a lot of these developing countries or third world countries are known for being below what we consider poverty here in the United States of America? And you might be wondering, how can I learn from someone who doesn't have the technology, the advancements, the skills, the science, the engineering, who themselves may not live in a house. They might live in a little shack or a hut, or live in a multi-generational family building. And you might be like, how can I learn from them? And I just want to start there. Let's just look at that multi-generational family. If you look at a lot of these people that immigrate to the United States, if you're not in the United States, you look at more developed nations like Australia or even England, or you might have France or Switzerland or Germany. If you see the people that move there and set up shop there, especially these people from the Middle East, from Southeast Asia and South Asia, you have some Africans, and you have people from South America that often will move to these countries because they have something guaranteed for them, or they have a better chance of making it out the mud, as what people will say. And the reason why I want to focus on the multi-generational family event is because when they come here, they get a house. They might join a household. They're not living by themselves. They go join some other family members they might have. They go join some friends they might have. They might find a community somehow and get plugged in, and someone opens up a spot for them. But eventually, over time, their goal is to bring their family here. But guess what happens when they bring their family here? Their family lives with them. Usually comes to the same state, not even the same state, the same city, not even the same city, in the same address, the same house, and lives with them together. There's so many friends of mine who they're first generation or second generation American, and their family still lives all together, right? They might have some uncles and some aunts, some cousins live with them. They might be living with them. They live with their grandma and their mom, or they live with them, their child, and then their parents. So 3 generations right there. And the reason why I want to highlight that is because a lot of these people I know, the reason why they're able to afford these houses and level up, and then by the time the second, third generation gets here, they have multiple real estate investments, is because they live together. By living together, you're able to pool your money together. This is something that we all can achieve, yet we all don't want to go after that. And I don't know why that is the case, but a lot of people will go get the job and move out of the house as soon as possible. Even when they're in college, they try to get away from home. When they graduate college, they're definitely trying to get away from home. Most of them are not even moving and changing states. They're just getting out of their house and living with roommates or renting on their own. And this is something we need to change. We have a lot of these foreign people who come in and they set themselves up for success, because you don't have one person, you have 2, 3, 5 working adults bringing in income. They share an apartment, they share a small house, and then they're able to stack up money, and then they buy a house together. And then by the time someone else is able to work, by the time 5 years come by, they save up more money, they can get another house. I've seen this done with businesses as well. When I was working in Los Angeles, California, I was working in the Glendale, Burbank area, and there were so many Armenians. And I'm having conversations with these people. I'm talking to these people, figuring out how they're doing it. And I'm realizing that they're passing the wealth from generation to generation. When their son or daughter graduates, they ask them what they want to do, and they invest in their business. They pull out some money from their house or from their retirements and give it to them, and they start. What they're also doing as well is, this is one of the things we've seen, these susus, I think that's what it's called, where, you know, everybody puts in $100 and you leave out with $700, right? You the last person to get in. The first person that started the round gets the money, and it waits until their turn to get the money. This is something that's actually been going on in a lot of other nations, but when it gets to the US, it becomes a scam because people actually turn it into a scam. But the way it works, like if you think about the Vietnamese and these nail shops, what ends up happening is the Vietnamese, someone told me this is what happens. They bring their family over. Now they have 6 people in one house or in one multi-family house, and they have those 6 people save up money. Save up money, save up money. Everybody saves 10K. 6 people times 6K, that's $60,000 for one of them to start their business. That person starts the business. Everybody else in that family will go work for that business, or some of them will work there. Some people will keep their own job, and then they'll save another 10K. Once that 10K is saved, they give it to the next person. That person goes, opens up their business, and so on until everybody has their own business. People do this all the time, yet people who are American, Black people, we don't do this that much. And I think we can really learn from this, learning how we can save the money into the multi-generations, right? The multi-generational wealth. Save it together, go open up something, go invest in something, go get a house, go start a business. I believe we can learn from this multi-family culture in a lot of these other countries. Because if you think about it, a lot of these wealthy businesses like McDonald's started with brothers. It started with people being family units, starting a partnership with their family members. If you think about the wealthiest people in the world, where do they live? They live in the Middle East. The Middle East, those people, those princes and everything like that, they keep the money within the family. They keep it tight knit. They marry into wealth. Not marry into wealth. They keep wealth marrying into wealth. What that happens is that creates more wealth. But even within there, they try to keep the money circulating in the family so that they can grow the family's wealth overall. And that's how they track that wealth. It's not by person, it's by family, right? And that is really important, something I think that we take for granted and don't really hit into that. It could be pride. Mostly it's pride because people want to know that they made it on their own. They made it out the mud themselves. They didn't have their family for it. Or they just don't want to be laughed at by their peers, like they don't have their own thing going. They don't want a girl to think they're broke because they're living at home or whatever it might be. And I would just say that's all dials down to pride. Once you can get over that fact, you can make sure you level up your lives as long as you're working together and having that teamwork. This next thing is something that's a little bit more common, and it's especially common in the overseas area. Not necessarily those people coming to America, coming to the UK, Australia, whatever, and starting their wealth building journey, but how they can keep more wealth for themselves over there. They might not be wealthy themselves, but they're able to afford more things than they probably should. And the reason why is because they bargain. We do not bargain enough. And this goes into the same thing about pride, about feeling like you don't want to seem like you're poor because you're asking for a discount or whatever it might be. You don't want to seem like you're poor because you're pulling out coupons. You don't want to seem like you're poor because you're trying to get some freebies and activate these birthday gifts or activate, you know, this loyalty program you just signed up for. But I promise you, if we can learn to bargain like people in Mexico bargain, people in Thailand bargain, or the Philippines bargain, you can save so much more money. Just think about how many times you sign up for something in the United States. You sign up for a phone service, you go in and you order something like for someone's birthday, and you pay full price and you don't realize it. A lot of companies give away free money. The United States of America has the most amount of free money to give away out of many countries. Maybe not the most, but we have a lot of money that we give away for just opening up apps, or if you go to Red Robin, you can get a free appetizer, all of these things. And this is something I do myself. Whenever I go to 85 Degrees Bakery, and shout out all my West Coast people, especially my LA people, you know what 85 Degrees is. Guess what? I have multiple phone numbers. I have family members that are never, like my mom, my brother, have never gone to 85 Degrees. I got like 2 Google Voice numbers. I sign up every single email, every single number. So whenever I go in, I'm always getting a free drink. I'm always getting that free sea salt coffee, right? I like this salted sea salt caramel coffee that they have. But because it's $1 extra, I don't get it, and I can't get that freebie. So what I do is I just get that sea salt coffee and I sign up. The other day we were at the movie theater and I wanted some coffee, and they sent me an email saying that buy one get one free. So you know what I did? Buy one get one free. And I'm always looking at these deals on these apps. I have Rakuten popped up on my screen to see if there's any cashback deals. I'm always going on the Chase app to see is there any 20% off, 10% off of Chevron gas or whatever it might be. I'm going on the Capital One portal to see if I can get cash back on this travel I'm about to book. I'm going on Apple to see if I use my Apple card, can I get the extra 2% compared to 1.8% using my Capital One. Like, I'm always testing this. But even if you don't have these means, you can still negotiate with people. You can tell people, hey, I normally get my hair cut 4 times a month. What if I prepay you? Can I get a discount for paying you in advance? All right, I'm getting my cell phone service. If I pay you up front for the year, what kind of discount can I get? Or you're going in and you're getting your car washed. You're like, I really only got $45. I don't have 50 today. Can you do 45? Like, learn to negotiate. You're going to buy stuff, especially from these boutique shops or these thrift shops. You see something on the tag, offer a little bit lower price. If you're offering on eBay, don't max bid. If you're buying stuff on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace and it says $20 and you're like, this is a good deal, don't offer $20 and say, I'll take it. What you do is you go in and you say, would you take 10? Would you take 15? And you're like, nah, all right, sorry, that's all I had. If they say yes, you just save money. Maybe 50%, you maybe save 25%. If they say no, go to the next post, ask the next person. What ends up happening is if they don't sell it, they're probably gonna come back to the, I can do it. Or maybe they say, I can't do 10, but I can do 13, I can do 15. You just save $5, that's 25%. Now, if everything you're buying, you're negotiating it, especially if you're negotiating higher prices, right? You're able to actually save a lot more money when that compounds, when you save $3 every single day. You save once a month, you save $30. You call your insurance and maybe you save $200 off of your premium. That's an extra $200 in your bank account every single year. And that adds up as you start adding all the ways that you save money. But taking it a step further, when you go for that job interview, negotiate. You know how many of my coworkers haven't negotiated or never negotiated their salary? And I'm like, I think I'm getting paid more than you. Like, and you've been here longer than me. You might have a degree over me. Like, that's crazy. Even if you don't, you can negotiate your PTO. You can negotiate your retirement. That's not as common, but you can negotiate your PTO. So maybe they can't do a raise. Maybe they gave, like, I applied for a hospital exercise physiologist job the other day, and it was like, I'm like, that's not what I was looking for. They're like, well, we factored in your experience and everything, and this is the most that we can give you. Sorry. And then I was like, well, can you give me more PTO? He's like, yeah, we can look at that. We can probably give you more PTO. And you don't realize that PTO counts. Like, now you can take time out to be with your family and still get paid. Or better yet, if you have a side gig, a side hustle, you can take an extra week off of work, do that side hustle as your job for that week, and now you just got double paid for that week and you increase your income. There's so many different ways you can negotiate, but we don't as a society. It's not built into our society. But when you start going to other places, we would drive down from LA to Rosarito and Ensenada, Mexico all the time, and we would negotiate all the time. My wife is from Thailand and from Laos, and she knows that's what they do there. Her mom is always talking about it. When we go, we're a little bit more, I'm gonna save money. I remember I did this in Ghana, and I'm realizing, I don't wanna negotiate, it's 25 cents. 25 cents is nothing. This was like 4 years ago. But one of the people was like, they're trying to rip you off. And he negotiated for me, but I was like, it's just 25 cents. Over there, it might be 25 cents. Sometimes I know when people are trying to rip me off when I'm over in Southeast Asia, and I'm like, you're charging me a whole 50 cent extra, which is almost 100% more. I'm not about to buy it. Yes, it's not that much money, but it's about the principle. But you take that and you get back to the US, you get back to any of these first world developed countries, and you're negotiating stuff like that. $5, $10, $100,000, $1,000 off. You negotiate when you're buying a house. You negotiate the closing costs being paid by the seller. You negotiate a 0.2% reduced interest rate. That might be $20, $30, $100,000 over the course of your loan. That's a lot of money, but you're too prideful to do it. Or you just are too lazy to do it. Next is the desire. They want to make it out. They're gonna do whatever it takes. They even move out of their home country to a place that they don't know the language, to a place they don't know nobody, to the place that maybe they only have one friend there, maybe they have one cousin. And they do whatever it takes. I mean, some people do it illegally. I'm not saying to do that, but you do whatever it takes. If you need to move out of the country, if you live in LA and you need to go live in Rosarito for 8 months and just commute to San Diego, you go do that. If you need to go to Southeast Asia, go to Thailand, live there for a year while you're working a remote job in the US so you can save money, you go do that. But a lot of us don't want to take those steps. We don't want to take the leap. We want everything to be given to us. And that is a big reason of why we do not progress like these people. What we end up not doing is not doing these big drastic changes that really will level us up. When they get here, they're working overtime, they're working 2-3 jobs, they're studying English, they're doing all of these things to really make it. And we're not. We're just complacent. We're just getting down on ourselves. We're just thinking that, hey, this has to be a different way to do it. And that is not always going to be the case. So we want to really do whatever we can. We want to be researching, right? You don't have to study English. You probably already know English. That's why you're watching this video. In English, you probably don't even have the English captions on. What you need to be doing is going online and studying for 1 to 2 hours a day a new skill, watching YouTube videos, going back to school for free. A lot of places like Southern California has free college education. You can take college courses for free. There's a lot of courses you can qualify for online that can be free. You can take a free Google Ads course on Google themselves and learn how to do ads. Then you can start promoting and marketing yourself, or just helping your friend grow his business for 1 to 2 hours a week. Once you start getting results, guess what you can do? You can go apply for a better job. You can learn that you can hack bank apps and investing apps and affiliate marketing to get more money without doing much besides referring people. People don't realize that there's so much ways to make money inside the United States of America and many developed countries, but it's because people don't have the passion or the drive or the purpose behind it to go do so. But if you can just get that same zeal and same boldness that these people from these developing countries have, especially when they move to places like this, you can make it happen. We can learn how to negotiate. We can learn how to have purpose and passion and really go after it no matter what, and always changing and adapting. That's in that as well. Because what ends up happening is people's like, I have the purpose, it just didn't work, and they give up. But guess what? Part of that too is changing and adapting and learning. This didn't work, let me go to the next thing. This didn't work, let's go to the next thing. Mark Zuckerberg, that Facebook wasn't his first thing. Elon Musk, Tesla wasn't his first thing. Jeff Bezos, that wasn't his first thing. Amazon, he did other things before him. A lot of these people have done 1 to 2 businesses before him. All these people you think just had a good year and came up out of nowhere, not even going that far, but we're talking about like entertainers, YouTubers, rappers. You might think that they gained all of this in 1 to 2 years. No, they had done a lot of stuff before, maybe stuff that they aren't doing now, they did before and that didn't work, so they switched and pivoted, and then they pivoted again. And we have to make sure we don't give up. The last one is going to be the very first thing I talked about, is living in a multi-generational family. And this might take some convincing of your family, of your spouse, of your children, of your grandparents, or whoever it might be. But we have to start learning to work together. And if you don't have a family that's supportive, go ask your friends. You should have enough friends that are supportive enough for that. Maybe some friends you lived with while you were in college. Maybe y'all are married now. Maybe one of you have a kid. But if you can get on this plan and actually set up together, look at a plan, work it out and see the numbers, y'all both can dream about how can we pool our money together, buy this duplex, and in 5 years, take that income we got from the duplex, go rent it out, and then take that money and equity we gain and go buy our individual properties from that in just 5 years, which a lot of people are able to actually do if you plan it. Do that and come back to me. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully I inspired you. Hopefully I encourage you. Just using these things I've learned from traveling to 30 different countries, and most of those being third world countries, is seeing how they do it, and then having a lot of friends here who are not from here. Even my wife not being from here, seeing how she does it, her family does it, her friends do it, and all the people in there who aren't American born but are living the American dream that a lot of you are saying is not possible. But if this video didn't motivate you, go check out your friends and see how it very much is possible to do. Watch the videos on how we use those banking and investing apps to save money, how I paid off $13,000 in 8 months, or any of the other videos that YouTube might recommend you of mine. Click that right here.